Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have the literacy for beneficiaries of the National Family Solidarity Program. For the national scene, Joe Biden unveils 1.9 trillion stimulus plan 5 days before inaugurations. Welcome to our newsroom. The Ministry of Interior strongly condemned the criminal attack perpetrated last night by a group of armed individuals against the Gendarmerie Brigade of the city of Tojora and deplores the death of an agent of this body caught in open fires by the criminals. We inform the population that the security of property immediately restored through the city of Tojora and that the armed and security forces are currently in pursuit of the armed assailant. This odious act of violence, contrary to the values of peace that constantly characterize our society, constitute an unfortunate precedent. It is far from being as the usual detractors of Djibouti immediately rushed to relay a show of forces of an alleged armed political movement. Yesterday, the Minister of Budget, His Excellency Abdul Karim Aden Chair, in collaboration with the Minister of Housing Amin Abdi, initialed an investment agreement on a project to build 10,000 housing units with the CEO of the Palmyra Development Group, Mr. Hisham Berada Sunni. This is a Moroccan group renowned in the social and state medium standing and luxurious real estate. The financing is intended for the construction of social housing, a signing ceremony which saw the participation of the Secretary General of the Presidency, Mr. Mohamed Abdullahi Wais, the investor Liban Ismail Umar, and the head of the Fiscal Policy Unit, Mr. Abdul Fattah Musa Arre, a project that is part of the housing policy, one of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Umar Gele. In collaboration with the Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity, the National Union of Djiboutian Women launched the first literacy session for beneficiaries of the PNSF. Indeed, the Minister of Social Affairs Solidarity, Ms. Muna Usman Aden, accompanied by the Secretary General of the National Union of Djiboutian Women, Ms. Fatuma Musa Ahmed, attended Wednesday, January 13th, a literacy session in two schools in the municipality of Bulaus and Balbala with several employees of both institutions. This collaboration is the fruit of the success achieved by the literacy program led by the UNFD with the leadership of the First Lady Khadra Mahmoud Haid, who has made this program her priority. The aim is to capitalize on the investment of human capital by interconnecting the beneficiaries of this program to the literacy program. This constitutes a consolidation and social service package for the gradual and sustainable exit from poverty in favor of our communities. For her part, the Minister of Solidarity, Ms. Muna Usman Aden, said that this project, that is literacy, was initiated by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gele, and the National Union Djiboutian Women at its head, the First Lady, has put on track. In fact, said the Minister, it is a long-term project that has experienced several adventures, teaching mother tongue, Somali, Arabic, and French an paramount importance. I do not explain that the Djiboutian woman added is the core of national development. This project, she said, aims to provide these women with a professional and functional vocabulary. Main activities carried out especially for rural women. Thus, she added further to benefit from the cash transfer program. It is important that the Djiboutian woman is educated, so literacy of women is essential for the economic growth of the country because it allows them to develop their skills, build and strengthen their economic independence. Colonel Wais Omar Bogor, commander of the Coast Guard, warmly welcomed in Wednesday, January in the VIP lounge of the Coast Guard the ambassador of Japan to the Republic of Djibouti, Mr. Otsuka Umio, for an extensive visit to all the facilities of the Coast Guard. The visit to the Coast Guard by the Ambassador of Japan to the Republic of Djibouti, Mr. Otsuka Umio, accompanied by his defense attaché, began with a comprehensive presentation of the mission of security and safety of the Djiboutian maritime domains and the reaching facilities and equipment of the Coast Guard. Once the presentation ended, Colonel Wais Omar Bogor, commander of the Coast Guard, invited by the ambassador of Japan to the Republic of Djibouti, Mr. Otsuka Umio, to a sea trip to visit the various patrol areas with the bonus of seeing at work the teams of permanent patrols of the Coast Guard responsible for ensuring the safety and security of port facility and tourist areas on the coast. On their return from the sea, the Japanese delegation led by the Japanese ambassador to the Republic of Djibouti was visit the search and the rescue department of the Coast Guard. The officer in charge of this department explained to them the main mission, the current activity carried out by this service and the various materials and equipment used for the search and rescue of people in distress at sea.
حجابي وحرصي لقو كمان هاي حبها إلى لدى وحصار بانا هاي جيش بلا حجابي وحرصي لقو كمان هاي حبها إلى لدى وحصار بانا هاي حجابي وحرصي لقو كمان هاي حبها إلى لدى وحصار بانا هاي جيش بلا حجابي وحرصي لقو كمان هاي حبها إلى لدى وحصار بانا هاي عالنكي حواليو حبسيو دلو قلي حاجة لو قبي حولي ونفلو هوري حب لقو إلاشيو حوب دافع بانهاي عالنكي حواليو حبسيو دلو قلي حاجة لو قبي حولي ونفلو هوري حب لقو إلاشيو حوب دافع بانهاي la hijaabiyo xirsi lagu gamaana
The Union of Francophone Press of Djibouti, with the collaboration of UNICEF and USAID, organized today at the Institute of Diplomatic Studies of Djibouti an awareness day for Djiboutian journalists at the National Media Prize for Children. The day was attended by the president of the UPF Djibouti, Mr. Kennedy Ibrahim Hussein, the head of the communication of UNICEF Djibouti, Mr. Faisal Ulmi, and Ms. Fatuma Ibrahim, specialist in communication for development. During this day, a presentation of the International Convention on the Right of the Child was made. This convention was adopted in 1989 by the member state of the United Nations and put forward 4 fundamental principles concerning children: non-discrimination, the best interest of the child, their right to live, survive, and develop, as well as respect for the views of the child, especially in this period of the crisis of COVID-19. Also, the role of the media in the promotion of children's rights was discussed. Journalists play a key role in the promotion of protection of children's rights. This prize was set up to encourage them to cover and defend children's rights and to become fully involved in the issue of children. These prizes will reward who have distinguished themselves by the quality in their television and concerning the defense and promotions of children's rights. In a speech delivered on the occasion, the president of the UPF Djibouti, Mr. Kennedy Ibrahim Hussein, recalled the importance of national media in raising awareness of children's rights and the role that journalists can play in the protection and preservation of children's rights. He said that in Djibouti the issue of children is a government priority and it is an integral part of human rights. The head of the communication of UNICEF, Mr. Faisal Ulmi, insisted on the importance of this award for the promotion of children's rights in Djibouti. He explained to participants the role played by UNICEF Djibouti, which works with its partners to ensure that every child and every adolescent can survive and flourish in the best conditions. For the international scene, in the Central African Republic, an attack on the outskirts of Bangui was repelled on Wednesday. Armed group launched an offensive against the capital, the first since the re-election of the President Faustin Archange Touadéra on January 4. Residents of some outlying neighborhoods are living in fear and trying to flee to the city center. 6 of the main armed groups have controlled it. Announced for the formations of the coalition of Patriots for Change in December, launched an offensive to prevent the re-elections of President Touadéra. Until then, the rebels has carried out sporadic attacks that were generally repelled by the more than 12,000 UN peacekeepers, supported by the large, heavily armed contingent of Rwandan military and Russian paramilitary who had come to be rescue of the government and its army. This Wednesday, about 10 kilometers from the center of the capital, army brigade were attacked. Simultaneously, at the end of the afternoon, sporadic shooting still responded in several neighborhoods. Joe Biden unveils $1.9 trillion stimulus plan 5 days before Inauguration Day, far from the trumpeting cow in Washington. 5 days before his inauguration at the White House, Democrat Joe Biden is trying to bring new spotlights to his upcoming action. He plans to unite and revive United States from his stronghold in Wilmington. He unveiled as 1.9 trillion stimulus package. The goal is to help American households and businesses affected by COVID-19 pandemic. Not to mention the impeachment trial of Donald Trump. He called on Congress to quickly pass his stimulus package. He also gave details on the new direct check of $1.4 per person to families, $1,400 for families. A minimum wage doubled to $15 per hour. The extensions of unemployment aid for state and local authorities for now. Outgoing Republican Vice President Mike Pence seems to have taken the reins in Washington. He has been seen at the side of the National Guard troops that have been crisscrossing the U.S. Capitol since Donald Trump stormed the Capitol on January 6. He was seen in a meeting with the FBI. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.